Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Ruby. If you're new here, it's great to meet you. If you're old here, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about how to actually make healthy changes and have them stick, because I remember times where I would just binge on food and feel completely out of control around food, and it was just not a fun time for me. So if you guys want to hear more about how I made those changes, make sure you keep watching. But first, subscribe to the channel, join the gang, and then give this video a thumbs up if you're into this type of content. For me, I had a lot of issues with feeling out of control around food, and what really helped me was eating more protein. And I feel like that is the most cliche diet tip of all time right now, is just eat more protein, but it's honestly true. I was a vegan for 5 years, and in that time my protein consumption was way low, and I ended up gaining like 35 pounds, and I ended the pandemic around 250. And it wasn't until I started eating meat that my food noise and all the issues I was having with feeling out of control around food and eating too much and eating uncontrollably went away. More importantly is eating it in the morning. Having 40 or more grams of protein for your breakfast honestly changes the whole projection of your day. For me personally, if I wouldn't eat enough protein, I would feel like, so say I'd be eating potato chips, I would be having a few chips, and then all of a sudden it would be like this feeling inside my brain, like fireworks were going off, and all of a sudden, like the feeling and the taste and the sensation in my mouth was so addicting. I would just like shovel in the potato chips, and it didn't like have to be potato chips. It would be like so many other foods where I would start eating it and I would begin to feel so out of control, and that is because the lack of protein. And when you start eating protein, that goes away. In addition to just like protein in that stuff, understanding what food does for your body and treating your body like a machine, like a car, like how you would fuel up a car, like it needs a bunch of different things, and understanding what carbs, fats, and protein do for you. And for me, like one thing I really didn't understand, like, okay, I guess I knew it, but I just didn't want to believe it. And it was when I was a crazy picky vegan who thought anything that came from the earth was just far superior. So things like maple syrup. Maple syrup is a carb, and so is sugar. The exact same way sugar is a carb, maple syrup is a carb, but because I thought it came from the earth, these carbs just didn't react the same way in my body. So understanding that like all carbs are the same. And yes, like fruit has fiber in it, which when you eat it, your body digests the carbs and the sugar more slowly, but it is still carbs, it is still sugar. So like truly understanding that, and then also like knowing what does a carb do for you. Carbs give you energy, but so does the glucose on your body. So you need a balance, having like enough carbs that you're like alive, but not so many that you're storing them on your body. And then like things like fat, what does fat do for you? Fat basically like hinges the joints. It helps everything move. You need fat. And then again, protein, the protein filling you up, making you full, building your muscle. Especially if you're trying to build muscle and lose weight, you need so much protein. Things like salt and sugar, and understanding that salt and fat, and understanding that salt and fat together are addictive, especially in high quantities. And things like French fries and potato chips become addictive when they are in such high amounts. And you know, like understanding the food science behind that. And then things like your hormones, insulin, sugar, cortisol, and insulin. Sugar spikes your insulin. When your insulin is high, your cortisol is low. When your cortisol is low, you can't burn fat. So you need your insulin to be low and your cortisol to be high. Understanding things like that make it so much easier, because then when you're choosing to eat these foods, it's not just like, oh, this food is good, oh, this food is bad. Like, no, you know what these foods do for you. It's like, what do I need today? What do I need in this moment? Am I working out today? Am I stationary today? Am I working from home today? Am I chasing my 5 kids around the house today? Like, what are my needs? And then like taking these foods and eating them accordingly. Also, your mindset. A big thing for me was all this time I would look at food and I'd be like, I want that so bad, but like, no, no, I shouldn't have it. Like, no, that's bad. I shouldn't have it. But changing that to I want it, but I can't have it, to I can have it, I just don't want it. And asking yourself, like, why do I want this food? What does this food do for me? What is this good for? How is this gonna help me? Because food should be benefiting you. You should be fueling your body and wanting to be taking good care of your body and doing that through food. Because with me, the second I tell myself I can't have a food or I can't have something, that is all I think about. I become obsessed. So I never want to tell myself I can't have a food. I can always have a food, but then I follow it up with, well, do I want the food? And if I want it, why do I want it? And then usually I think about it and then I'm like, you know what? I'm either hungry and I should eat like protein and veg or something like that, or I'm bored or I'm craving or something like that. It becomes so easy to figure out. And then once you recognize these things, they become patterns. And then you're like, oh, I'm craving, I have really bad cravings, and it's because I only ate half my breakfast this morning, or XYZ, like whatever it is, or like you know to eat more. And then especially if you're a woman and you start tracking your cycle and knowing what phase you are in, that helps so much too. Because one, not only with your like emotions, because at least on my period, like when I'm PMSing in certain phases, I become so emotional. Everything makes me cry. And then like other phases, I get so hungry and I want to eat everything. And like when you know what phase of your cycle you're in, you can see those signs and those symptoms and be like, boop, luteal phase, I simply just need to eat more. Or boop, I'm PMSing in 2 days, this is why I'm bawling my eyes out about a cat video. You know what I'm saying? So like becoming aware of the things that are going around in your body is so helpful. So for me, those are the three main things that really help me. The protein, especially, just so much protein all the time. Protein. And then like understanding the food science and like even do more research on carbs and fats. And because there's different types of carbs, right? You have like super refined sugars are a carb, but like also an apple is a carb, but the amount of grams in each one's not the same. So like understanding those, you can just start to understand it and you can see it more as numbers and less as good foods and bad foods and cravings. And I promise it is all protein. Just start eating that protein so much more and you will feel better. There's a reason everybody is on the protein train and everybody's preaching protein, because it is true. And please don't be stubborn like me. I was such a stubborn, I was the most stubborn vegan in the world, pretending like I was eating enough protein, or pretending that I didn't need protein, or pretending that like the 8 grams in tempeh was enough. Like, please don't be stubborn. Just understand that like food science is real and your body is a machine. And if you give it the right things, it will respond correctly. It's seriously just math and science and numbers. So that is what I do. That is what has helped me go from 250 to 217, and before that I was even higher. I was at 320, but I'm just talking about the 250 from when I put the 30 pounds on from being a vegan and being in the pandemic and just eating a lot of not good for you food. So if this video helped you, please give me a thumbs up so I know that you liked it and I know you're into this video, so I know what I should be making for you guys. Make sure you subscribe, join the gang, join the fam, you guys. I love you so much and I love that we're all one big family. If you want to hang out with me when I'm not posting, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Snapchat. I will post them all on the screen and below. I would hope and love to see you there. Otherwise than that, you can turn the notifications on if you want to stay notified for my next upload. But I love you guys so much and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you continue and start to live happy, healthy lives. Bye!